What is up, guys? We got a video for you today. It is 16 incredible games that got completely overlooked. All right, this is from GameWise. The link to the video when I react to them is in the description below. I'm curious how many of these games I actually played or I watched playthroughs of. I miss the days when YouTube was like full of walkthroughs and playthroughs. There's probably still channels out there that do it, but I feel like it's not the meta anymore. I wish it was because I would do it more, but it's just not a way to grow a channel, ain't it? So, I mean, is what it is. But without further ado, let's jump into this video. See where it starts off.
When I think of From Software, it's Dark Souls and Elden Ring, right? Well, Armored Core 6 proves they can make an insanely good mech game too.
What was that Amazon show where it was video game, like short episodes from video game universes? They had an Armored Core episode with Keanu Reeves, animated Keanu Reeves, and it was one of the best episodes in the entire show. It was phenomenal.
The game isn't just about giant robots. It's about fast, strategic combat, deep customization, and some of the most precise movement controls in any game, period. Piloting a mech in this game feels incredible, and the way you can tweak your build to suit your playstyle is ridiculously fun. But what really seals the deal is the boss fights. As always, FromSoft put their signature touch on these encounters, making them intense, cinematic, and absolutely brutal. It didn't get the same hype as FromSoft's other games, but trust me, it's so worth playing, especially if you want something different from your usual action RPGs.
I'd never played it. The closest I probably ever played to a game like this was Titanfall, and that game was fun, but it wasn't my favorite. I don't think I would necessarily enjoy it. I really don't. Maybe for a little bit, but I don't think it would be something that I could play nonstop. But it looks cool. Obviously, I could understand why it would be completely overlooked and be an incredible game. I get that. Whatever that Amazon show was, what was that? Secret Level. There was an episode with Armored Core, and it was phenomenal. It was so good. One of the best ones.
Next up, we've got Sleeping Dogs. In short, it's basically GTA meets Hong Kong action movies, but it absolutely nails that feeling. The hand-to-hand combat is excellent, with a satisfying martial arts system that makes fights feel weighty and cinematic. The driving is fast and arcadey, and the city of Hong Kong is one of the most atmospheric open worlds. It's basically GTA meets Hong Kong. Its story. It's a gripping undercover cop thriller that actually makes you care about the characters. It's a crime game, sure, but it's also a story about loyalty, identity, and the cost of living a double life. It's one of the best open-world crime games ever, but it never got the sequels or recognition it deserved. Play it, and you'll see why fans won't shut up about it.
See, I'll be honest, if this would have came out in 2012, what was I playing in 2012? I wasn't playing anything. I went to college, wasn't allowed to bring my system, but I was a COD player back then. If I would have seen this in 2012, I don't know if I would have bid on it. But now it's the kind of game where I'm like, yo, this would be interesting. For the sake of the story, the combat looks pretty fun too. So, like, it would be a game that I'd probably play. But I don't think I've ever heard of it. Dang. That's sick. Whoa. Already, boom, right off the bat. Oh, this is called the medium. I was going to say, don't even know what game this is, but right off the bat, it already intrigues me more. I like dark grayscale games. It's not like every single dark grayscale game, but like if it has this look, I'm intrigued automatically.
Psychological horror. The medium delivers a super unique dual reality mechanic where you play in two worlds at once. This isn't just a gimmick. It's integral to the gameplay, letting you solve puzzles and uncover secrets in ways no other horror game does. The story is eerie. The visuals are stunning, and it's got that classic Silent Hill style atmosphere.
Yeah.
Speaking of Silent Hill, Akira Yamaoka, the composer behind Silent Hill, worked on the soundtrack, and it absolutely adds to the creepy, unsettling vibe. It's a slow burn, but it sticks with you long after the credits roll, making it a must-play for horror fans.
Interesting. Yeah, never heard of this game. I don't really like horror games, so I probably wouldn't play it, but I could see the appeal, for sure.
Imagine if Dark Souls...
So far, I have not played a single one of these games.
...and Ninja Gaiden had a baby. That's Neo 2. The combat here is on another level.
I don't know if it was Neo 2 or if it was a different Neo, but I played the demo. They had like a free demo, and I played through it. and I played through the whole thing, the whole demo. It's just not
You've got
my
multiple
game.
stances to master, an insane variety of weapons, and a loot system that keeps you constantly experimenting with new builds.
Yeah, see all that pixie dust stuff. Like I'm not a huge
Takes
fan
the
of games with
Souls-like
that in it.
formula and cranks everything up, making combat faster.
But who knows?
deadlier,
I'll probably prove myself inconsistent with my opinions over time.
more technical. But it's not just about the action. Neo 2 also leans heavily into Japanese mythology, with terrifying yokai enemies
Which
and
is
a
cool.
story that, while a bit convoluted, is packed with cool historical influences. It's one of the best action RPGs out there, but somehow it still flies under the radar compared to other Souls-likes. If you love a
Yeah,
challenge
I've never
and want a
really heard
combat
it
system
mentioned.
that
I
rewards
know the game,
precision
but
and
I've never really
mastery,
heard it
Neo
mentioned.
2 is a must-play. You ever play a game where the atmosphere just gets under your skin? That's Alone in the Dark in a nutshell. This is a full-blown reimagining of the 1992 classic, and it's got that Southern Gothic horror vibe that makes
Wait,
it
this
feel
is
like
Alone in the Dark. I didn't get to play this. I think I have this in my library. And back in the day, I was going to do a playthrough of it back when I was trying to do playthroughs on the channel, and I just never got to it.
slow burn psychological thriller.
This has David Harbour in it, doesn't it? David Harbour, Hopper from Stranger
The
Things.
setting? A creepy as
Ugh.
hell mansion filled with secrets, weird cult-like horror, and things that probably shouldn't exist in reality. The real hook here is how it blends exploration, puzzle solving, and combat while making you feel like you're never truly safe. And with David Harbour and Jodie Comer lending their voices, yeah, the performances add a whole new level of immersion. If you're into creepy atmospheres, cosmic horror, and that old school survival horror tension, this one's absolutely worth checking out.
Yeah, I was actually going to play this one on the channel way back when, and then I never got to it. It was when I was going through my anthology series, the Man of Medan anthology series with Madison Swaley. I was going to play this one. I don't know if this one was co-op or not, but maybe we were both going to play it. I don't know.
Next is hands down one of the best remakes in gaming, Mafia Definitive Edition.
This did not fly under the radar. No way. No way this flew under the radar. I feel like I knew people playing this and loving this game like crazy. The Mafia games as well as the Mafia Definitive Edition. I think I played the original Mafia, I think on PS3. Maybe it wasn't the original. Maybe it was Mafia 2. I don't remember. But they had like an open world demo of it, and I used to play it all the time. All the time. And then it might have been the Definitive Edition. I had this and I played through part of it.
Doesn't just slap on a fresh coat of paint. It rebuilds everything from the ground up while keeping the original game's story intact. And man, that story, it's a Godfather-style crime drama with actual emotional weight. Set in the 1930s, you play as Tommy Angelo, a cab driver who gets pulled into the mafia life. And let's just say things go south fast.
Of course,
the
it's the mafia
gunplay and
life.
driving are
It's gonna go
modernized.
south.
The world feels alive with period-accurate details, and the cinematic cutscenes make it feel like a high-budget HBO series. If you love crime stories and open-world games with focused
Dang,
storytelling, Mafia Definitive Edition is a must-play.
That guy would be dead. Jeez.
This is one of those games that people slept on hard, and it's a crime. Prey is basically a
Now I can't confuse with promotion and advertisement with whether it was slept on or not, because this game, I remember seeing it promoted, trailers, seeing it in the store, posted in front of my face. I remember seeing a couple of the YouTubers I followed paying attention to it, but I don't know how popular it actually was, but I do remember hearing it was an excellent game. I have it in my library, I think, somewhere, but I don't think I ever played it.
what if Bioshock but in space situation, and it absolutely delivers. You're stuck on a space station overrun with these weird, shape-shifting aliens called the Typhon, and nothing is safe, not even the coffee cups. The real magic here is in the gameplay. Arcane Studios went all in on player freedom. You can
I don't love this. I don't like when games have this. Like you see part of your hand just floating there. Like it's like Far Cry. What else does this? Dying Light feels like this. It's not like I hate it. It's just, it's not my favorite FOV or POV. I don't know. For story-based games.
Upgrade your character with wild alien abilities, turn into objects, and approach situations in dozens of different ways. It's tense, it's atmospheric, and it constantly keeps you on your toes. If you're a fan of immersive sims, deep sci-fi storytelling, and games that make you think,
is this glue
Prey
gun?
is an absolute must-play.
I can already tell I wouldn't like the combat. What is this?
Has changed during my absence.
This one, super underrated. It's
Never, ever, ever heard of this. At first, seeing that guy, it made me think Expedition 33. I was like, what?
an RPG with a deep, dark,
Never
supernatural
heard of it.
twist, set in 1905 Warsaw, a setting you don't see in games often.
Interesting.
You play as Thaumaturge, someone who can see and control these creepy supernatural beings called saluters. Think of it like detective work meets occult mysticism. And yeah, it's as cool as it sounds. The game's all about tough choices.
That doesn't sound cool to me at all. I'm going to be honest. Skip through this one.
Next, we've got Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Okay, no. Okay, this game I don't think was that overlooked. I remember a few of the people that I followed on YouTube play this, and they said how incredible it was. But I've also seen this on other people's lists about great games. So I don't think this one was maybe slept on as much.
This game
I wonder what their stipulation for this was. Maybe they have the actual numbers about people that played it. I don't have that in front of me, but I feel like this one was not
isn't
slept
just
on.
good.
I could be
It's an
completely wrong,
experience.
but I
Ninja
heard
Theory
it's
went
incredible.
all in on creating something that feels deeply personal while still being a cinematic, action-heavy adventure. You play as Senua, a Celtic warrior struggling with psychosis. As
He just said Celtic. It's Celtic.
she ventures into what feels like literal hell to save the soul of her lover. The real genius here? The way the game portrays mental illness. The sound design alone is insane. Voices whisper in your ears. The world distorts, and reality itself seems to break. It's one of those games that sticks with you long after you finish it. If you haven't played Hellblade yet, you owe it to yourself to
This does seem like a game just based on the... I don't love the setting, like Celtic mythology type stuff. Not my vibe. Like God of War, Ragnarok and whatnot is like as close as I get to something like that. Norse mythology and such for games and everything. But this doesn't... Just the psychological thriller aspect. I love games like that have a good twist and stuff. Yeah.
check it out. Just wear headphones. Trust me.
Last couple of days? Why?
At launch, Days Gone had a bit of a rough start.
Nah.
But if you skipped it, you missed out on one of the most
This game, I would say, especially... Wait, when was this video made? 3 months ago? I don't think so. I remember when this game came out. I remember a lot of people playing it, and I remember a lot of people playing it, and it wasn't that great at the time. It's one of those things that this test of time proved that it was better than it was at launch. And I don't think that's because people didn't play it. I think that was because people didn't like it. And also the market saturation at the time of zombies and things like that it just wasn't vibing. I don't think it vibed with people and culturally speaking. But then over time, people realized, no, this game was great. People went back and played it. And then it had that big, like, petition for a sequel. And then it got the remaster or whatever.
underrated open
I don't know if I
world
agree.
games
I don't know if
come
I
out
agree with this one. Also, I did play this. I didn't
decade.
finish it.
This is basically
It's been on
Sons
my
of
list to
Anarchy
finish,
meets
but
The
I've played
Walking
it.
Dead. And yeah, that combo works. You play as Deacon St. John, a biker trying to survive in a world overrun by not zombies, freakers, because calling them zombies would be too easy, I guess. The open world is packed with things to do. The horde mechanics are straight up terrifying. And honestly, the story gets a lot better as it goes on. It's got its flaws, but if you're into open world survival games with big emotional payoffs, this one is absolutely worth a second look.
Yeah, I need to finish this game for sure.
All right, now we've got Elite Dangerous. I'm not sure if this one's a game
Never heard of it.
or a
Never once.
full-blown space simulation. If you want to actually feel like a spaceship pilot, Elite Dangerous is one of the best ways to do it. You start with a basic ship, a little bit of cash, and absolute freedom. You could be a trader, a bounty hunter, an explorer, whatever you want. The galaxy is massive, We're talking a one-to-one recreation of the Milky Way.
What?
With billions of star systems to explore.
How have I not heard of this? I've heard of the No Man's Sky, and then what's that other one that's really popular? It takes a bunch of money to play it, though, to like buy a ship and stuff. What am I thinking of?
And while the learning curve is
Then
steep,
there's Star Citizen as well.
once it clicks, it's addictive. Whether you're dogfighting pirates, mining asteroids, or just soaking in the beauty of deep space, Elite Dangerous is a one-of-a-kind experience. If you haven't played Titanfall 2 yet, stop what...
Didn't I bring this up? Yeah, I brought this up in this video. For a second, I thought it was a different video. Titanfall 2 was low-key pretty good.
you're doing and fix that. This is one of the best
I did play this
FPS
one.
campaigns ever made.
Oh, he's
And I
talking
don't
about the
say that lightly.
campaign. Okay. I don't know if I played the campaign.
The movement, smooth as hell. The shooting, insanely satisfying. And the level design, chef's... wait, no, you don't like that phrase. Let's just say it's genius.
Chef's kiss.
The real standout is Effect and Cause. A mission so good it basically became legendary overnight. The multiplayer is just as strong, with fast-paced parkour, mechs dropping from the sky, and one of the most fluid FPS experiences ever made. The fact that EA
Hey, without this, we wouldn't have Apex, so shouts out.
buried this game with a bad launch window is criminal, but thankfully it still has a dedicated fan base.
Not a huge fan. I liked it. I liked it. But it didn't disrupt my COD functionality. My COD obsession.
If you've ever wanted a co-op game that nails teamwork while still being chaotic as hell, Deep Rock Galactic
Dude, what is this? What is this game, dude? No. No, this is not my game. This is not my game. No. No, 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 no. Can we just skip Deep Rock Galactic? I already know. I'm not going to care.
Rock and Stone.
No thanks.
If Alan
Intrigue.
Wake 1 was a love letter to Stephen King,
There we
Alan
go.
Wake 2 is full-on psychological horror in the best way possible.
I'm
Remedy
down.
went
I'm
all
down.
in,
I'll play it.
blending survival
I've heard a
horror,
lot about
deep
Alan Wake, though. I feel like
storytelling,
that's not
and
under the
straight-up
radar. Or
unsettling
am I
visuals
cooked?
that mess with your head.
I'm not crazy for
You
that.
don't just play as Alan. You also play as FBI agent Saga Anderson, investigating some seriously weird supernatural murders. The game constantly
Interesting.
shifts between realities. The combat is more intense than ever. And the story? Yeah, it goes deep into Remedy's connected universe in a way that fans of Control will lose their minds over. It's easily one of the best horror games in recent years. If you like deep, unsettling narratives that actually make you think,
Yep.
Alan Wake 2
Yep.
is a must-play.
All right, you just spoke my language. You just spoke my language, brother. I might vibe with that sometime. Put it on my list. Mad Max? I forgot this was a game.
This game got slept on hard, and that's a shame, because it absolutely nails the feel of Mad Max. You're
Yeah.
roaming around a massive wasteland, scavenging for parts,
I remember watching a couple of people play. I think it was back when I used to watch Gold Glove a lot. I think he played this.
upgrading your beast of a car, the Magnum Opus, and just
I could be
blowing
wrong,
up
though.
enemy convoys in the most badass way possible. The melee combat has that Arkham-style flow. The car combat
Yeah.
is straight up awesome.
That's some of the best combat out there. I don't care that it's not combinations and all this stuff. The flow of it is unreal.
And the world feels brutal
That
but lived
that
in.
Arkham Knight, Arkham combat is amazing.
It's got flaws. The story isn't super deep. But if you just want to lose yourself in a wasteland full of chaos, destruction, and high-speed car battles,
I bet this game would have been slept on if the story was better.
Mad Max is absolutely worth playing.
Yakuza?
Yakuza Like
No.
a Dragon. This is
Yeah.
the game where Yakuza...
No, I can already tell you. It's got rhythm games, all this stuff in it. Heck nah. Heck nah. That's the end of the video. I'll be honest. I didn't feel like any of those were. I feel like a lot of these were right where they should be. I don't know. None of them really spoke to, and some of them I don't feel like were that overlooked. To say completely overlooked might be an overstatement. Alan Wake 2 is probably the most interesting one to me. But I don't know. Man. It takes a lot to get me to play a game. like a story-based game and like finish it all the way through, because I'm just a simple-minded Call of Duty caveman, you know? So it takes a lot for sure. For sure. If I had to pick a game that I think was overlooked but was amazing to play, I don't know if it was overlooked at the time, but I think it's gotten lost in history, is Resistance. The series Resistance. I used to play it on PS3. Chimera, Aliens, and Humans. The campaign was unreal. The multiplayer was so much fun. I think that's lost in time for sure, but I don't know if it was overlooked back then. I don't know what the player base was like. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your pick would be for an overlooked game in history, or if you agreed with this list, or if it's on here, whatever it is. We'll catch y'all later. God bless.